Good morning to you. It's Friday the 19th of January 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk with brand new intro, boys and girls. Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy that? Would you like to know how long that took? Oh dear. Oh, I'm surprised I'm up this early after working on that last night. That's actually taken a few weeks to do that as well. And last night I decided to finish it off. It's probably, altogether, that's probably something like 12 hours work, believe it or not. Honestly, it really is. And the reason it takes so long for me to do is I like everything to match up. So when there's a beat of the music, I like the picture to change like that on the beat. I could probably have done it a lot quicker if I simply just pulled in a load of little videos and put them together. But, when I used to watch music programs, certainly in the 1970s and 80s on the televisions, there was a couple of producers. One sticks in my mind always. Yvonne Littlewood, I think her name was. And she was a producer on the BBC. And I was only like a teenager. But whenever her name came up whenever you watch like a music program, I think she might have done Val Dunican. There was her, and I can't remember the name of the other bloke, but there was always a picture right at the end where it said producer and his name, and he'd be sitting on a stool like that. Not as a picture, as a silhouette type thing, you know, just like I think it was yellow actually. I think it was a yellow silhouette. And it was him and her. And when they had produced the programme, throughout the programme, when there was a change in beat or music, the picture would change. Now, there are certain ones that still do this, but a lot of them don't seem to bother. So the music's going and the picture changes. You probably don't even notice it. It's just me being a bit too sort of over... I don't know, but perhaps it's like an OCD type thing, I don't know. But it annoys me when I see a picture change and the music hasn't changed at the same time because I'm used to that. And that's why it took me so long to do it, you know. But all done now, and I'm quite pleased about that. I wasn't sure it was going to work this morning, but I watched it just before we came upstairs to have a little chat to you this morning, and I'm quite pleased with that. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. That was the beginning part, of course, was our picture on the River Thames. A little video that we did on the River Thames last week when we went out for an afternoon tea up and down the Thames, which was really nice. And it was actually while I was doing it, and I thought, do you know what? Just going up and down the Thames, that's a great beginning part to sort of the countdown video. Now, some people, I think we've got a couple of people with us this morning. Let's say hello to someone brand new on Periscope, actually. Hello to N. It just says N. So greetings to you, N, who says it's a bit of a long intro. Yes, indeed. Well, it is an intro, but it's also a countdown, you see. The whole idea of having that on for 5 minutes before I start is that it lets everyone know who's kind of subscribed. It goes bing, doesn't it, like that? And then you join us, and you've got 5 minutes to join us. And you know something's about to happen. Otherwise, I sit here talking to myself, which isn't unusual, to be honest. I do that an awful lot. I sit here and talk to myself. So greetings to you. Welcome to the show. Okay, over on Facebook Live, first message of the morning goes to Richard Leedham in Australia. Greetings to you, sir. I gather it's very, very hot over in Australia at the moment, isn't it? Very, very hot in Australia. Morning to Pete Branch, Diane Jebb, Christina's there. Hello, Rod. Andy, morning. I'm glad you like the new show opener. It does take a very long time to do something about that. That's why it doesn't change very often. You're lucky to get a new one once a year, honestly. The end one has also been around for a while. The end video's been around for a while now. But I won't change that one yet. I'll wait till I've got some new sort of material to stick in there. Morning, Jerry. Morning, Adam. Jadav. I think it's your first time with us this morning. Good morning, Jadav. David Jackson's there and coming along to the karaoke tonight. Yes, it's been a while. Your first visit to the karaoke this year, 2018. I'm hosting karaoke tonight, boys and girls. Friday night karaoke is at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, starting at 8:30, right the way through until midnight. Hello to Gary, who's in Cornwall. We've got a couple of people in Cornwall. In fact, I've got something to show you today. The lovely Evan who owns an observatory in Cornwall, has set some beautiful pictures in of the sky, which I'm going to show you very shortly, boys and girls, so hang around for that. Good morning to Kiki D. Morning, Kiki D. That's not the Kiki D who sings, you know, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. People often send me a little private message. I say, is that the Kiki D? I said, well, it is the Kiki D, but not the Kiki D that you're used to watching, singing with Elton John, you know, Don't Go Breaking Your Heart, that one, yes. So good morning, Kiki D. No, it's not that one. There are other Kiki Ds in the world, believe me. Not many, but there are some, and that's one of them with us this morning. Good morning. Good morning to Kevin Bell. Missed the intro. We can watch it back on the catch-up later, Kevin. On the playback as soon as we finish. We're only here for about half an hour, as you well know. Okay, I think you'll like it, Kevin. You will like it, especially because it's all London stuff. It's all London stuff right at the beginning there, all right, sir? Christina says the lights reflect on the Thames River shots. Extra sparkles. Yes, those lights, Christina, a lot of that film is shot through a window. And as it got darker, the lights came on in the boat, and that's the reflection of those. And at first I thought, oh, this isn't going to work. And then I thought, no, it added something to it. Rather than look stupid, I thought it added something to it. So that's why I went with that. Okay. Kiki D says, I noticed when the music slowed down, the video of your niece with her baby was great. Yeah, it's all timed. I got to tell you, I don't work these things out first. I kind of look, and as I'm doing it, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, well, the music slowed down there. I'll fade there instead of chop. So I'm glad you noticed it. I'm glad you noticed it, the little bits and pieces I do. Probably, you know, if I watch that thing about 10 times, I'll start noticing faults with it. And then I can go back to the original and make slight adjustments. So, you know, that happens as well. Good morning to Emad. Yeah, look how hot it was in Australia yesterday, where Richard is. 43.1 degrees centigrade, which is 109 Fahrenheit. Too much to me. Far, far too much to me. Morning, Kevin. And Paul Mosley's there as well. Not sure your YouTube is working again. I sent a message on there. Yes, you did. Morning, Paul. You just need to give me a little bit more time to get to the messages. All right, my darlings. Sometimes, if I'm in the middle of a story, then I don't kind of prioritise messages over story because we never get the stories out then. And I've said so many times before, I don't want like a show where all I do is read out messages. What's the point of that? There's hundreds of people on Periscope doing that. Hundreds of people on Periscope, and they literally just sit there looking at the camera or the phone waiting for a message, and that is the entire show. I like to try and do a little bit more than that, all right? N wants to go to the karaoke more than any karaoke in the world. How do I go? How do I solve or cure this? Well, you have to come. Whereabouts are you, N? Where are you? Let us know where you are. My karaokes are in London. Funnily enough, I've got I've had 3 inquiries in the last week about new karaokes. So they're all North London. All my work is North London. I have worked in South London before, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, but the South London gigs, except for the ones in Belushi's, which I used to work at, it's about 2.5, 3 years ago now, which I loved. I loved working in the Belushi's brands. Except for those ones, the South London gigs tend not to do so well. I don't know why that is. It's strange, isn't it? Now, I'm from South London myself. I was brought up first in Peckham until 1969, and then in Roehampton between 1969 and sort of 1983 when I got married. A very short period of time. Separated, divorced, went back to Roehampton. Then I went to Wandsworth. And I left Wandsworth in 1992, I think it was, 1992. And I came out to Bracknell in Berkshire, which is where I live now. If you wonder what Bracknell's like, if you're new to the show, well, it's very leafy, very trees, lots of pine trees all around. It's lovely in the summer. It's all right in the winter, as long as you've got door closed and the heating on. You know, and we've just had a brand new town centre built. We've got some wonderful shops here and all that, and all the property around here seems to be bucking the trend and going up simply because of the new town centre. So it is really nice around here. If you was ever come here for a little holiday, and you wanted to come to Bracknell, well, we've got Coral Reef, which is like water slides and all that sort of place thing. We've got a few hotels. We've got the Hilton Hotel, which is just up the road from me. That's where I go swimming. I belong to the Living Well, which is kind of the swimming gym section of the Hilton Hotels. And our the one in Bracknell has certainly got both of those. Lovely pool it's got. We've got the Grange, which is in Bracknell town centre. We got, I think, a Premier Inn or a Travel Lodge or both, one of the two. Legoland is not far from here. Chessington Zoo is not far from here. We got the forest to walk in. So there's loads to do around it. I mean, it's not London. You know, it's not like you haven't got beautiful old bridges crossing the Thames or Big Ben or anything like that. Mind you, if you're coming to London, just to warn you, no Big Ben at the moment. You can't see it. It's covered in scaffolding. And when I say covered, the whole thing was covered. When we went down the boat the other day, you can't even see the face. The whole thing is covered in scaffolding. There's no bongs. Ding, dong, ding. We had New Year's Eve, didn't we? Was that actual real bongs or was it a tape? That's what I want to know. Was it a tape or anything? Oh, dear. You love it. Good morning, Luke Bickers on YouTube as well. Good. So that's it. So that was yesterday. Here's the pictures from Evan. Now, as I say, Evan owns a an observatory down in Cornwall. He's got great big dishes and telescopes. And I've never done this before, and he's invited us down to have a look. So I'm hoping to go down at some point and have a look through a telescope at the stars. I just think it's totally amazing to basically put something like a pair of glasses on, but a telescope, obviously, something optical, some lenses in front of you, not through computers or radio waves, but to actually look through a long tube at planets far away. I think that is amazing. And we used to have the London Planetarium where you could go, but I don't think they were telescopes. That was more of like a show, you know, and projections on the ceiling, wasn't it? Like, I remember going to the London Planetarium, I think possibly when I was at school in the 1970s, but I don't think it's there now. It was taken over by Madame Tussauds. Now, Madame Tussauds is somewhere good to go in London if you like that sort of thing. I've got to be honest, I went with my sister and her family about 10 years ago. I found it extremely boring. You queue up for ages, it's expensive, and then when you get in, I know you already know it's a waxworks, okay? You already know it's a waxworks, but you go in and, oh, right, well, that's a model of that, and that's a model of... And nothing's happening. There's nothing moving or anything. I found it incredibly boring, Madame Tussauds, I have to say. And the London Planetarium used to be next door to it. I don't think that's there anymore. I think the whole building is now Madame Tussauds. Anyway, so this bloke's got his observatory, and to actually look through a piece of glass at other planets and perhaps to see the mountains on the moon, to see the actual rings going around Saturn. What an amazing thing that is. Anyway, he's sent us a couple of deep space type images that he's taken with his camera while looking through a telescope. I mean, I don't know quite how you do that. How do you take pictures looking through a telescope? Do you have to kind of get the camera like that and poke it in there? No, it'd be all electronic, I suppose. But here are the pictures. Here's one of a comet he took. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful, that is. And that comet, hang on, let me just bring up my writing here so I can read it to you as well. That comet is... Oh, I've lost the place now. Oh, gosh. One moment, please. There we are. This is the comet Lovejoy. He says he's quite pleased with how it turns out. You've got to have clear sky and no winds to be able to do this, apparently. I don't know why you have to have no winds. I'm not quite sure about that. So that's the comet Lovejoy. And here is a nebula. That's a nebula. He took just the other night. And I was asking him if they are the actual colours. Or if the colours are added later on, you know, like a computer. Because a lot of the stuff you see on the telly, a lot of that has had colour added electronically. And he says those are the actual colours. He uses a spectrometer between the telescope and a special camera used to get the correct colours. Now, that object we're looking at, right, this will blow your mind, is 900 billion light years away. So if we was to set off in a spaceship, it would take us was it 900 or 9 billion? 1 minute, hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. This is very important to get the facts correct. It's about 900 billion light years away. So if we was to set up and travel at the speed of light, it would take us 900 billion years to get to that. And that is the Veil, V-E-I-L nebula, the remnant of a giant star going to supernova. Isn't that just amazing? Huh? Just to look for a telescope and see something like that. 900 billion light years away. So that happened 900 billion years ago. That. And I was talking to Evan some time ago. We had a little FaceTime video thing going on. And I asked him, you know, when do you think we'll find... Do you think there is other life? And he agrees with me. It's absolutely preposterous to think that we could only be the only sort of living things anywhere. There has to be living things in other places. Not necessarily the same as what we describe life. You know? They don't all have to have a head, two eyes, a pair of ears and a pair of legs and a pair of arms and all that. Or maybe one or two of those items missing if you haven't got everything. There's plenty of different humans, isn't there? I always say people born without a leg or an arm or something like that, or perhaps blind or something, they're not disabled, they're different. They're different. I think disabled is a term wrongly used many, many times. I think a lot of people are different. You know, what's the thing where people are very, very clever, but they can't get it out? Oh, I can't remember what that's called now. Really, really clever people, but they can't get from their brain to the outside. There's a name, possibly beginning with the letter A. Autism. Autism, that's it. Very, very highly intelligent people, but for some reason they can't get it out. They're not disabled, they're different. I'm sure one day they will come up with something, so they'll be able to get that intelligence out for the benefit of all of us. But there could be other life out there that is nothing like this. Maybe it breathes, it doesn't need to breathe. Maybe it doesn't need to breathe, but it picks up all its energy from some sort of star and something like that. How interesting. Jerry says it's not just us on Earth, Chris. I think there is life out there. Yeah, I think so as well. I'm sure there is. Autistic. Thank you very much, Andy. Autistic is the word we're looking for there. I don't, you know, consider people disabled when they're in a wheelchair or something like that. No, they're not disabled. The legs don't work. The legs just don't work. They are different. Different. Don't you think? Hello to Alan. Morning, Alan. Welcome to the show, sir. Okay. Let's have a look here. Let's do some... so there's your pictures from Evan there. So yesterday, after we had a little chat, I went swimming, went to the dentist. Nothing to report. Mo the dentist. I was a little bit late yesterday. I wasn't late. They were late. 11:05. Didn't see me till 11:15. But I have to say they're very, very efficient there. They're really, really good at the dentist I go to, Crossways Dentist in Bracknell. When you go in, it's an NHS dentist. And Mo comes out with his little clipboard. Hello, Chris Reardon, please. Yes, that's me. In you go. You sit down. Everything all right? Any changes? No. Everything all right with your bloods? Yes, everything's all right. Thank you very much. And then he starts his work. And he gets that rusty nail, you know, on a stick and starts poking in your mouth. Doesn't he? Poking away in your mouth. And checking that things are all right, and then that's all okay. That's very quick, that bit of it. Then he took a couple of x-rays, and I'm still amazed, and I'm just stuck in the past, I am. I'm still amazed how they can take an x-ray like that. They take an x-ray, and immediately you push them, they disappear around the back, don't they? You know, when they do the x-ray, they disappear around the back, and they push that button, and there's no one to be seen. Only you in there, receiving the dose of radiation that's too strong for these people. I mean, what are they firing at us all? It's very, very worrying, dear. You hear the noise, don't you? Like that. What are they firing at us through this thing that is so dangerous that they can't even be in the same room as us? So they fired this thing off, you know, and done these 2 x-rays. And then immediately, it comes up on a computer screen, doesn't it? And it's fantastic. I still think I just think it's amazing that you don't have to send the films away anymore. Last time I said that, well, I haven't said that to him recently, but the first time I ever saw this, you know, this thing coming up on the computer screen, and like, don't you have to send them away anymore? And they just looked at me like I was stupid. It was so long since I've been to the dentist. I do try and go now every sort of 6 months. It kind of turns into every 9 months. Because what happens is that we get to the 6 months, I get the text, oh, I'll leave it till tomorrow. And then I leave it, oh, I don't really want to go yet. And then it takes me about 3 months. As soon as I get the letter, then I'll make the appointment. And that's generally about every 9 months I go. But nothing to report, nothing comes up on the x-rays. And then he did the teeth thing. Now, the only thing that hurts me, because I've got a little bit of a receding gums. I have a little bit of a blood problem, really, and that makes one of the things I get is receding gums. That and the fact I brushed them too hard. There's never any scale on these teeth. Oh, these people who don't brush their teeth, they're disgusting people. I know a few people with really bad teeth. I don't see any of them at the moment, but a couple of them used to come along to the karaoke. Really bad teeth. They've never looked after their teeth. It's disgusting. Black and like, oh, just rancid teeth there. I can't understand someone that wouldn't want to brush their teeth before they come out or go to work. Anyway, apparently I brushed mine too hard because we've got the electric toothbrush. Like that, you know. We've got the electric toothbrush. I'm a little bit too rough with it. So my gums are receding a bit. But when he does that cleaning thing, you know, with that hydraulic, I don't know what it is, supersonic thing, you know, to get the scale off. That there's a couple of places in my mouth that like that. Do you do it like that? And he apologises, but you just put up with it. It's like a second of pain, isn't it? Like a second of pain. That's all it is. Then he does the whirly brush on the teeth to make them all clean again. And then you take a mouthful of that nice tasting spearmint stuff. And he said, thanks very much, see you soon. And it's like £20.80, I think it was, for a checkup. £20.80. My sister said to me, she said, oh, that's a lot of money. And I said, you must be joking. £20.80. I used to go to a private dentist. Now, this is about 5 years ago. And on my life, I never left there not spending less than 200 quid. They would always find something to do every single time, bar once. And I'd go in. This is 5 years ago. So I paid £20.80 to have the dentist look at my teeth and a little bit of a clean. £20.80. If I was to go back to that private dentist, the checkup used to be about 45 quid. And then they'd want you to see the hygienist, another 45 quid. And then they'd want to do some sort of filling work or something like that. That's another 80 quid. I would have been spending, you know, the seat keeps falling off this bit of wood here. Oh, I know, it's moved. Just a minute now. What's that there? This is moved. That's why I keep falling off my base here. I keep falling off my base. I don't seem to be able to get anything that stays on this carpet. I would have been spending £800 a year in that private dentist on my life. Since I've gone to the NHS dentist. I've been with him 5 years. Have never, in that whole 5 years, found one thing to do in my mouth. Not once. So you watch that. If you're going to a private dentist and you're finding that every single time you have work to be done, I'd go somewhere else. Because that's just outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. All right? So that was the dentist. Then after that, I had to take my mate to the hospital in London. He goes to Chelsea and Westminster, a specialist hospital, because he's got a bad chest infection that he's been hanging around now for about 2 months or so. And his chest was very, very tight, he said yesterday, and he's coughing and spluttering. So I took him down to the hospital. On the way there, leaving Bracknell, suddenly all these police bikes and a really posh car and a Range Rover were going the other way. Now, we have Sandhurst near me as well, which is where the great Theresa May was yesterday. Theresa May and that French bloke, Mr. Macaroni or whatever his name is. Is it Macaroni? Can't think of his name now. Mr. Macaroni, they were having some sort of chat yesterday, weren't they? And they were in Sandhurst. So I reckon I was very close to her wonderful shipness, Theresa May. I would like to meet Theresa May. I'd like to ask her why she went into politics and how it all happened and what she was like as a girl and all that. Do you think, if I was to message number 10 Downing Street, would Theresa May be happy to come here to the Mirable Studios? I mean, I don't mind giving her my chair. I will sit on the stool. On the rare occasions that I have someone here in the studio, I do have a little stool and I sit people on the stool, but I would give her my special chair. And I would also get the nice teapot out. Oh, yes. I wouldn't be using my metal one. I'd get the nice teapot out for her. Would you think she'd sit next to me? So I'm sure she came past us, almost within touching distance on the other side of the road. It was all, I couldn't see who was in the car. It was all blacked out. But I did wave anyway. I waved. Hi, Theresa! Theresa! Oh, you know you love her, don't you? You do! I know you love her. So we got to the hospital. Lots of tests were run. He had an X-ray on his chest, and the most wonderful staff, I have to say there. Really nice, compassionate stuff. One of the nurses was to die for. Now, what was his name? David. David was the nurse's name. And I'm saying, oh, he's really nice. Why don't you say something, Ronnie? I said, pointless. But I have no confidence chatting anyone up anymore. None. Absolutely no. I said, he's not going to want to know me, is he? You know, he's not. Really, really nice nurse, David, who was very attentive to my friend. And then I think he saw 3 doctors altogether, a couple of nurses. As we got here, he got offered dinner. Do you want any lunch? And my mate says, "What? No, that's all right." I said, "Does that happen every time someone comes in here? You get a meal as well?" No one offered me anything. I had to go to the trolley and make my own cup of tea. And I'm sorry, boys and girls, I'm holding my hands up here. I broke my slimming world yesterday. I had 2 digestive biscuits. Terrible. Terrible. I've had 2 digestive biscuits yesterday. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. I don't suppose that's going to matter. So that was about 2 o'clock. We got there at 1:45. We were able to park in a disabled space because my mate's got a badge and all that because he's he's not disabled, he's different. I hate that word, disabled, he's different. And went into the hospital, got dealt with, had a cup of tea there, waited for the chemist. So we got there at 1:45. Do you know what time we left? 5:30. 5:30, we were in there all that time. It went dark outside. I thought it was the end of the world. I was looking for that nebula that I showed you earlier. And that's it. So the thing that they're saying to him, that yes, it's probably it sounds like a seasonal thing. They think he's got possibly COPD. COPD. Now that is caused by smoking and working in smoky atmospheres. Now I am borderline COPD, which means I haven't got it. Okay, and I remember this going back about 8 years or so. I went to the doctor because I kept having chest problems, and they said I had to have a spirometer test. I think a spirometer test, and this is the thing that you blow in it, and you have to blow for a long time. and they say, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Not like a breath test with the police. No, it's just this thing you blow in, and it's supposed to measure your lung capacity. And I'm very borderline. I'm just above not having it. Not having it. Caused by, well, I did smoke between the ages of 15 and 26, I think. So I smoked for that period of time. Gave up at 26. I'm 54 now, 55 next month. So I don't smoke now. I haven't smoked all that time now. But nevertheless, it does do damage. But probably more damage done to me was working in smoky atmospheres. Because I was a DJ for so many years. You know, you go in some of these places, as you open the door, the smoke used to pour out. Fortunately, we don't have smoking in any of our bars and clubs or indoors, any public spaces now, which is one of the best things any government has ever done. That and win the war. You know, and it's one of the best things people have done is to stop smoking in all these places. But probably that's where mine came from, because you couldn't get out of it at the time. Let me just pick the pen up. You couldn't actually get out of it at the time. You know, do you want to work in a smoky atmosphere or don't you want to work? That was the case. So I'm borderline. So mine's quite good. Since losing my cat about 6 months ago now, my asthma, breathing problems have almost totally disappeared as well. So there we are. So we got home about 7:30. I dropped him off at his house. I came back here, I had an hour and a half sleep, got up, had some dinner, watched a bit of Victoria and Albert, who are now married. I'm watching Victoria at the moment. Series 1, Episode 5 I'm up to now. Victoria, I love it. I love anything to do with the monarchy. I'm a big royal fan. As you can see, Her Royal Highness is displayed in full colour behind me there. Full colour behind me. And then at about 10:30, I thought, you know, I'm going to do a little bit more work on that opening video. So I came up here at 10:30 last night, and I left this little room at 3:30 in the morning thinking, I think I've done it. I think I've done it. So if you missed the brand new opening video, which is 5 minutes long, the countdown video, when I finish the show, give it a couple of minutes, and then you should be able to go back and watch from the beginning. Watch that 5 minutes, and I think you'll like it. All right? Back to some of your messages then, boys and girls. Good morning to... Let's just scroll down there. Right, where are we now? Christina says, is his observatory near the Eden Project? I'm going back down to the area in May. Yes, indeed, Christina, it is. In fact, I think... Is it his wife or his daughter? His wife or his daughter have something to do with the Eden Project, and I've been invited there as well. And I'm amazed by that Eden Project. You go in this dome and it's all like tropical and everything. I can't wait. I've got to find some time to go down and do that with Evan. I don't think he's with us this morning, but probably watch it on catch up later. Good morning to Lee West. Good morning, Lee. Sune there has autism. Well, you wouldn't know, Sune. Wouldn't know. I had no idea you had autism. I think perhaps some people have autism a little bit more than others, don't they? So you're different from other people, but highly, highly intelligent people. Well, as you probably know, people with autism are highly, highly intelligent people. They really are. We've got a little birthday today. We always do our birthdays at the end of the show, unless you send a message and you want something particular. So Lee West, is it your daughter, Lee, or what? Not quite sure. Okay, I'll just say the name though. Happy birthday to little Tiffany, who is 3 years old today. Happy birthday, Tiffany. 3 years old today, all right? I don't remember being 3. That's too far back. But happy birthday to Tiffany today. Oh, it's how lovely to people to ask for their children for me to wish them happy birthday. I love my great nieces and great nephews. I really do. When I was doing that video last night, the new opening video, to have so many little bits of video that you've taken over the years, and the way I've seen my nephew Jimmy grow up now. You know, Jimmy is the same person. Again, going back to the opening video, it's the same person that's sitting on my knee at the beginning with that conical thing on his eye. That was actually done, I think, on a Boxing Day 15 years ago. And then I look at him and he looks at me with this thing, and that is the same person. As is the one towards the end of the video who's working... Is he working on a car? I think who's working on a car. That's the same person. It's the same person. And just to see children grow up like that is fantastic. I can't believe my great nieces, one of my great nieces and one of my great nephews is now 5 years old. Evie is the girl and George is the boy. And then we got 4, 3 and months as well. It's just fantastic. Happy birthday, Tiffany. All right. Alan Diamond says it's £163 for a checkup. How is it £163 for a checkup? Are you for real? It's not £163 for a checkup, mate. I don't know what you're having checked up. £163. It's £20.80 for an NHS checkup. Where did you get £163 from? You must be having something else done, sunshine. Fillings or something like that, or maybe a new face. Are you considering having a new face, Alan? Good morning to Katie Rose. Welcome to the show. Ronnie is okay. Well, he's still got a tight chest. I've already spoken to him this morning. And he'll be popping over here for lunch. Swimming, of course, is out of the question at the moment. He can't go swimming at the moment. All right. Adam, did you not know I was 54? Yeah, I'm 55 next month, Adam. Perhaps you want to get me a nice birthday gift. Get me a nice birthday gift out. Perhaps your gift to me can be to turn up and sing me a song at the karaoke. There you go. How's that? Good morning, Shane Cameron. Welcome to you. Adam thought I was much older. No, what is that? The lines on the eyes? Is it there? Morning, Ray Reynolds. Morning, Ray. Kevin says the Queen can't be called Her Royal Highness, only Her Majesty, because she's the Royal Monarch. Is that right? You sure about that? I don't know about that. I can't remember that. Kevin remembers when he was 2. Oh, no, I can't go back that far. Are you younger than me? I don't know how old you are, Kevin. How old are you, mate? And Merlin's with us this morning. Good morning, Merlin. You missed the new opening video, Merlin. We got a brand new opening video, dear. Wait till we're finished and have a little look at it. You'll like it. It's all boats and things, and then it goes into... The whole thing has been redone. And also the diamond is a different colour. How fabulous is that? How have I done that? That's one of the secrets of United Kingdom tour. Oh, Kevin's 44, okay. Over on Periscope, I think there's people talking to each other on Periscope, aren't they? Good morning to S. Gregorian. Happy Friday as well to you, sir. I think people are talking to each other on there. Yeah, looks like they're talking each other. Okay, people are just talking to each other on there. Good. How are we doing on time? Is it time to go already? Good God. I haven't done any news stories this morning. I haven't even done any news stories this morning. Just quick, one quick news story. Merlin's been out walking the dogs. That's not a very nice thing to say about your boyfriend, darling. How dare... It's not very nice to refer to people like that. Murderer. I'm so naughty this morning. Ray Reynolds says my NHS dentist charged £57 for a checkup and extras for deep cleaning. No, Ray, that's private. That's private, mate. You're paying private prices. I suggest you find another dentist. £20.80 I paid. That's not the NHS charge. You're being charged private. You check it out. Yeah, I'm going to type it in now. I'm going to try. Cost for NHS dental checkup. You're being done private, Ray, and you probably don't realise it. Here we go. Band 1, NHS, covers an examination. Here we are. Diagnosis and advice, £20.60. That's on the NHS UK site. Ray, you may well be going to something that says NHS, but you're paying private prices for that. I suggest you get onto that next time. You're paying privately for that. Because you have to remember, a lot of the dentists, they do NHS and private work in the same practice by the same dentists. You're paying private. You're paying the private prices. You need to sort that out because you're paying unnecessarily. The deep clean was extra. Right, okay, yeah, you can go and have... Yes, you can get sold extras. The deep clean. Do you need it? I mean, all right. This was all part of the £20.80. I didn't pay extra for deep clean or anything like that. Do you need it, Ray? Do you brush your teeth twice a day? I don't think you need a deep clean. Merlin also thinks he's a private patient. Just type it in. How much is an NHS dental checkup? It'd be £20 and 60 pence. I think I said 80 earlier. If it's cut 20 pence. It's £20 and 60 pence, okay? £20 and 60 pence. NHS is free for emergencies, not the dentist. The dentist isn't free, but it is heavily subsidised. Heavily subsidised, okay? I feel I should do a little news story somewhere. Here we go then. Now, I don't know what you think about this. The artificial intelligence that can tell you when you're going to die. Look at this. Stanford researchers have developed an artificial intelligence that can predict when a patient will die with up to 90% accuracy. Now, while the idea might sound unnerving, the team behind the work said it could vastly improve end-of-life care for patients and their families by more accurately pinpointing when a terminally ill patient may pass. Caregivers can prioritise their wishes and ensure important conversations are held before it's too late. So, I mean, do you want to know when you're going to die? Do you want to know that? I mean, there's all sorts of... I mean, there's some... I call them fun applications. I know what's fun about dying, but I've seen certainly things on Facebook and that where you can do the start here and you click that. What age are you? Have you got anything wrong with you and all that business? And then at the end it tells you the date that you're going to die. But that's more of a fun thing. This is a scientific thing. In a new study, the Stanford team explains that there's often a huge discrepancy between the way a patient wants to live out the rest of their life and how it actually happens. I mean, would you want to know? If I could say to you, okay, you want me to tell you when you would die? Just answer these questions and I'll give you a date and a time. Would you want that? Would you really want that? I think I would. According to the researchers, roughly 80% of Americans wish to spend their final days at home. Oh, I think we all do. Who wants to die in a hospital? No one wants to die in a hospital, do they? You don't. You want to go at home. You know, if you're really, really lucky, although what's lucky about death, I don't know. If you're really, really lucky, and I've known a few people that this has happened to, you'll go to bed and just not wake up. That's if you're really, really lucky. I say lucky because no one wants to see someone suffering for a period of time, sometimes for years, in great pain and anguish, you know, wondering, oh, is it going to happen today? Is it going to happen today? Some people think that for years. If you're very lucky, one day you'll just go to bed and you won't wake up. The story goes on. I mean, I think most people want to die at home, don't you? You want to go at home. You want to go at home. In an effort to close the gap, the team at Stanford University trained a deep neural network on electronic health record data from the Stanford Hospital and Lucille Packard Children's Hospital, encompassing roughly 2 million adult and child patients. We could build a predictive model using routinely collected operational data in the healthcare setting. This is in this morning's Daily Mail, by the way, as opposed to carefully designed and experimental study. The scale of data available allowed us to build an all-cause mortality prediction model instead of being disease or demographic specific. The tool isn't designed to work by itself to guide the care process. So, I mean, it also needs a human doctor and all that to give information. But it's very interesting. I mean, would you want to know that? I don't know if I want to know that or not. Jerry says he doesn't want to know when he's going to die. No, I don't. I don't either, really. What you know? Why? No, it's just it would just worry you. No, you're coming out. Oh, I've got 5 minutes left, and then I'm going to die. I don't think that's a good thing at all. Do you? Oh dear. Julian says Spanish NHS doesn't cover dentist. My upper dentures cost... Now, is that £1,600? £1,600? Good God, for the upper dentures. £1,600! God's sake, man. That is a lot of money, isn't it? Terrible, terrible. Anyway, that's the dying thing. Hopefully that none of you will die, because we can't really afford to lose viewers on this programme. We really can't. Thanks very much for those of you that are sharing the show on your wall this morning. That's always well appreciated. Kevin sends a link to as well, and I saw this. There's now a pill that you can take with electronics in it that will go through your digestive system and track wind to see why perhaps you are or are not windy. Now, I do go for this problem sometimes. I have the most terrible wind problem, and I don't know what's causing it or what it is. It's been particularly bad over the last week. It's been really bad. This morning, it seems to have stopped. So I'm hoping that's it. That's it now. It won't come again for some time. But I do... You don't mind me talking about this first thing in the morning, do you? I do have a little bit of a problem with it. Anyone else have a wind problem? Well, this is a pill that you take, and it looks in your intestines and all that, and tracks your wind as it goes down. How awful. Dreadful, dear, dreadful. Right, let's do today's birthdays then, boys and girls. We always do birthdays at the end of the show. Once again, happy birthday to Tiffany today, who's 3 years old today. Alan Russell is today 48 years old today. I think you're coming out tonight for your birthday, aren't you, Alan? Because I haven't seen you for months. Happy birthday to Alan today, who's a very young 48 years old. Happy birthday, Alan. Oh, I haven't got my music ready. 1 minute, there it is. Let's get that ready. Happy birthday to Gary G. Gelder. Happy birthday, Gary. 55 today, just a few weeks ahead of me, Gary. Don't worry. You are not alone. We are not alone. Happy birthday, Gary. 55 today. Cara Cramphorn. 34, you young thing, Cara. How are you, darling? Happy birthday, Cara. You wonderful person. Rockella Brown. Happy birthday to Rockella. Are you one of our Manilow girls? I think you might be one of our Manilow girls, Rockella. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Magic. Little Magic. Magic Pankowski. Hope I've said your name right. Happy birthday to you. And happy birthday to Lulu Jones Power. There's some wonderful names there this morning. I think my favourite name there is... Imagine being called Magic. Isn't that a lovely name? Magic. Happy birthday to you, gang. Oh, no music. Oh, wrong button. 1 minute. Wrong button. Here it is. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tiffany, Alan, Gary, Cara, Rockella, Magic and Lulu. Happy birthday to you. There we are. Happy birthday, boys and girls. If you're wondering where the birthdays come from, if you're on my Facebook, they come up automatically as long as you've set it to do so. As long as you've set your birthday on there, I will know, okay? They just come up with me like that. If you want me to wish someone else that you know happy birthday, just send us through a message while we're on, if you want to, and I'll happily do that for you as well, okay? Andy says, too many baked beans give me wind. Yeah, I think that might be the problem here, because I love baked beans. I have at least a can and a half a day of a tin and a half a day of baked beans. That is absolutely true. You may have hit the nail on the head there, Andy. I do hope so. Tonight, it's Friday night. I'll be hosting karaoke tonight. It'd be lovely to see some of you at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, for Friday night karaoke. We've got some new lights up tonight as well. Now, just to let you know, we're usually there on a Monday. There is no karaoke this Monday. It's being decorated. Okay, so it's closed on Monday next week. So this will be your last karaoke tonight until next Friday. All right, so come along for Friday night karaoke every Friday and tonight at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross in London, starting at 8:30 and finishing at midnight. If you can't come along, we'll be live streaming it as always, probably on the same place as you're watching this, okay? You should be able to watch us on any of the platforms that this programme goes on as well now. Have a lovely Friday. I'm off to the swimming pool now, and then have a bit of lunch, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.